Are you looking for a flowy yoga class to stretch the hips? Well, today's class is just for you. Hey friends, it's Kate here. Thanks so much for joining me today. Now I've got a slow flow yoga class that is meant to open up our hips and low body. We do move through a few downward dogs and moving from downward dog to a lunge. That can be a difficult transition for some of us, so know that you might want to have some blocks nearby. However, this is a super gentle, stretchy class that's just meant to be kind and loving to our low body. Go ahead, roll out your mat. Let's get started. Let's start at the back of our mat, our feet about hip distance apart. Let your fingertips dangle. Take a moment to check in with the body. Maybe you feel comfortable with closing your eyes. Taking a pause to notice, does it feel like you're leaning to one side? Does it feel like we're arching our back? Not a right or wrong, just checking in. Let's try and even some of that out. Begin to lift away from the floor. Think about squeezing where your thigh and your glute connect. Wrap the abdominal muscles in. Lift out of the waist. See if you can broaden across the chest. Actively reach your fingertips down to the ground. Slide your ears up a little higher. Take a breath. Let it go. Another big inhale. Let it go. One more breath. And soften. Seal the lips together. Breathe through the nose. Dip your chin to your chest. Slowly let the head follow suit. Bend the knees. Begin to forward fold, letting the fingertips dangle to the ground. Eyes can remain closed. You could flutter them open. Find the base of your forward fold. Take a moment here, nod the head, shake it yes and no. Maybe grab the elbows and take a gentle ragdoll side to side. Let the fingers relax. Hands to shins. Inhale, push your head away, a little half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, push your head away, a little half lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more time, push away. Drop down, pause. Soften the knees a little bit more, and can you crawl out to a downward facing dog? Find your dog and pause. Maybe bend the knees a little bit more, pushing your sitting bones to the sky. Start to pedal through the feet, pressing one heel down, the other heel down. And then maybe circling the hips around. Pause for a moment. Bend the knees deeper. Really shine your sitting bones up to the sky. Take a great big inhale. Big breath out. Have your shoulders climbed up to your ears. Can you relax them down the back? Full big breath. Nice big sigh out. Slowly from here, bring your right foot up to the sky. You can take that as big or small as you like. Your standing left leg can remain bent, or you might straighten it. Bend your right knee and see if you can almost point your right knee up to the sky, opening up the hips. Did your shoulders start to move? Can we re-square them? Almost feel a twist through your torso. Realign the hips, pointing the knee down. Straighten out the leg, set it back onto the floor. Pick up your opposite leg, reaching it to the sky. Bend the knee. Point your left knee to the sky, trying to open up the hips, keeping the shoulders square. Full big breath. Re-square the hips, elongate the leg, drop it down to the ground. Take a nice, big, filling inhale. Easy sigh out. Another big breath. Big sigh out. Slowly lower your knees to the ground. Knees can be together or apart. Sink into a child's pose. Head is heavy. Crawl the fingers further away, really lengthening through the spine. Great big inhale. Big deep breath out. Again, full inhale. Big breath out. 3 times inhale, wave up to hands and knees. Exhale, push back, tipping the sitting bones as you do so. Inhale, round through the body, rise up. Exhale, tip back, push the hips back. Last time, inhale, rise up. Exhale, tip back and pause. From here, we'll tuck our toes, lift our hips, and return to our downward facing dog. Lower the shoulders down the back and lengthen the head. Once again, let's lift our right leg up to the sky. You can again bend the knee, open up the hips if that feels nice. This time, if you want to, look underneath your right armpit, taking a little bit more of a twist through the shoulders. Slowly let that go. Straighten the leg. From here, can you step your right foot between your hands, knowing you can always use a helping hand to scooch the foot forward. Find your lunge and pause. Open up across the chest. See if you can set the knee down. Toe can be tucked or untucked. I like to untuck. And I'm really thinking about pushing my hips closer to my heel. It's like my pubic bone is reaching to my heel. Left hand remains planted on the floor. Inhale, stretch your right hand to the sky. Reach it up and away. Full big inhale. Big breath out. 3 times, circle your hand around in a great big kind of clock-like shape. It's like you're trying to reach for each little number. And then circle in the other direction, down and around, up and over. Down and around, up and over. One more time. Set it back onto the floor. Lift up your back knee, take a moment, return to your downward facing dog. Lift your left leg as you feel ready. Bend the knees, stack open the hips. Again, if we want to, we'll stay, or you might try to look underneath your left armpit. Look down to the floor, realign the hips, straighten the leg. Step between your hands. Find your low lunge, and then bring the knee to touch the ground. Stretch your left hand up to the sky, at first really stacking the shoulders, reaching up, and a few circles. Opposite direction. Reach it up, bring it back down to the ground. Lift the back knee, step to your downward facing dog. Great big inhale through the nose. Big sigh out the mouth. Paddle through the feet, sway the hips, nod the head. Once again, lift your right foot up. Bend the knee, open the hip, enjoy. Maybe look underneath your armpit. And then restack the hips. Stretch the leg up. From here, can you step on the outside edge of your right hand? I hug my arm into my leg and my leg back into my arm, and I push the pubic bone forward once more. Again, we might drop the knee to the ground, untucking or tucking the toe. From here, it always feels good to me to take a little sway, a little rock side to side. Just enjoying that great big lizard lunge. Think about opening up across the chest. It's like your sternum is being pulled forward. Take a full big inhale. Big breath out. Tuck the toe, lift the knee, return to your downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Enjoy that great big stretch. Look underneath your left armpit if you so choose. Restack the hips, straighten the leg, step on the outside edge of your left hand. And again, we're in that lunge, we're in that lizard. We can rock side to side. You might even rock a little forward and back. Notice if something feels different from this side or the other. It's okay to notice those things. And again, we might drop the knee and really sink down. Both sides might be different. Maybe on this side it feels better to keep the knee lifted. No hurry, no rush. As you feel ready, tuck the toe, pick it up, return to your downward facing dog. Hips lift high, hug the inner arms to the ears, take a breath. Once more, drop to the knees, toes together or apart, stretch the hands away. Full big inhale. Big breath out. Roll yourself up to a seat. Let's lay on our back. Take a moment, and we want our spine to be fully connected to the ground. So no arching the back, but a small imprinted spine. Walk the legs together and cross your right leg over your left, trying to bring the knees one right on top of the other. Now we might hold right there. We might pull the knees into the chest. Maybe it's enough simply to do that, or we might try to reach for our feet. Now I usually like to do a little yogi toe lock, just holding around my big toe. If that doesn't feel pleasant, of course, you can take it slightly different. And I'll usually take either a small little sway side to side, or simply trying to pull my feet up and almost towards my armpits. Now that doesn't always feel good in everyone's body. It's okay. Take a breath. Let that go. Set the feet down, unravel, and cross your left leg over your right. Again, big inhale, pull the knees up. Decide, do you want to reach for your toes? One side might feel totally different. It definitely feels a little more wonky on this side for me. So it's okay if you have one side that you're like, wow, did not expect it to feel so incredibly different. Take a breath. Slowly let that go. Uncross the legs. This time cross your right ankle over your left knee. Pause in your figure four. Take a big inhale. Pick up your left leg, hug behind it, and don't press on the knee itself, but on your upper right thigh. It might feel great to stay right here. We might feel something a little different if you start to bring your left heel towards your right knee. I almost imagine my right knee and my left ankle have little magnets that are being pulled towards one another. Your body might be a little different. You might be able to pull the knee even closer towards the heel, or not. It's okay. Eventually let that go. Set your foot on the floor. Unravel. Same thing other side. Cross and open, big breath, pick up the leg. Now again, we can stay right here in our lovely little figure four. You might start to close your knee and ankle together. And I don't need to use my hands to do this. This is my own strength to bring those two body parts towards one another. So it's okay if yours looks a little different than mine. Slowly let that go. Set both feet back onto the floor. Heel to the feet a little wider, knock the knees together, reach your hands over your head. Easy little sway side to side. Just let the knees fall right and left. And then walk the feet back towards one another. Let the feet stay together, knees apart. Great big inhale. Big breath out. Another big inhale, big breath out. Wiggle your toes, nod the head. Slowly roll to one side, pushing yourself up to a seat. As always, give yourself a pat on the back. Thank yourself for doing something so good and just for you. I certainly hope you enjoyed our slow flow yoga to open up our hips. I cannot wait to see you again. And if you need to do some strengthening for your hips and low body, I will absolutely link to a video that will feel delightful right there. Have a great rest of your day.